Yo guys, what is going on? Blossom is back and welcome back to another episode of Top Drives. As we enter the penultimate month of 2020, I want to take a look back at all the legendary prize cards I've won this year because I'm pretty happy with 2020. Not as the year itself, but I'm happy with 2020 and Top Drives because I've won more prize cards in 2020 than I had in 2019, 2018, or 2017. So today, let's get into it and we're going to be doing this month by month. So let's start off with the first month of the year, January. Well, for January, guys, I won nothing. We won no prize cards in January. So let's move on to February. Alright guys, here we go. February is where things really starts to kick off. Now if you guys remember, February was my best month before September in terms of getting legendaries. Getting 6 legendaries in February, 2 of them being prize cards. The first one was the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. Now on a level, on a scale of 1 to 10 for the hand that I used to win this car, I would give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't very good. I got lucky with the brackets. This was when, the Huracan Performante had some, or not the Huracan Performante, but this was when the final brackets in Top Drives were kind of glitched and they were making more brackets than should have been. So my bracket never filled up. I think it ended up being 300 instead of 500 people. I used in the end 2 epics and 3 ultra rares and it got me the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. First prize card at 2020, and not gonna lie, it came out of left field. I wasn't expecting to win this, and obviously, coming off 2019, I didn't win a lot of prize cards. I think I won about 4 or 5 in the entire year. So winning this so early on actually made me pretty surprised. I was like, oh wow, I already won a prize card this year. That was a lot shorter than I anticipated. But yeah, first prize card, Lamborghini Huracan Performante, and right before February ended, I won myself the Bugatti Chiron Sport. Obviously, this is the highest RQ prize card I've won to date, alongside the Porsche 918 Spider, of course. Now, the Bugatti Chiron Sport was an amazing experience, an amazing journey. I've talked about it before. It's one of my hardest ever wins. Unlike the Huracan Performante, this was a complete 180. The hand that I used to beat this, to win this, was a 10 out of 10. Almost a maxed out legend. 2 legends, one of them almost maxed out. All my epics were maxed as well. And yeah, it was that tough. It was 3 maxed epics and 2 legends, 1 at 2 stars. I actually won at 21, 24. So if I put 1 more fuse into it, you can basically say it was a max legend. This thing was insane. Not only did I have a really good hand, it was a really tough bracket, but I made some friends in that bracket, met some really good people. So we worked together and we all secured the Bugatti Chiron Sport. That being said though, it was really hard. I played every ticket I got. I bought tickets above that. I think I spent, well, first of all, I opened all 15 of the GE carbon fibers. This was the GE x5 final and this was the one that came after the Lotus x5 final for the Huracan Performante. So I opened all 15 of those packs, spent I think 2,000 gold on buying tickets and servicing cars, and of course I stayed awake for about 36 hours. I could not sleep. I wanted to raise every single ticket. And finally got me the Bugatti Chiron Sport. It was worth the hassle though, because if this car ever comes back, imagine the owner's challenge prize. It's gonna be around this RQ limit. It's gonna be like 98, 97, which I probably think we're gonna get like a Jaguar CX-75 for the owner's prize car, of course, because high RQ, 4-wheel drive, great MRA car. Very similar to the Chiron Sport, but also not similar at the same time. Anyway, with that said, let's move on to the next month, and that is March. Alright, March. So, in March 2020. That March 2020 was bad. This was when the lockdown started coming in. This was when everything kind of went into shambles. I got 0 legendaries in March. Nothing. Nada. I think March was when the titanium pack came out. So, I got that going for me, if it did come out in March. But I only got a compressor from it, an epic. So, yeah, no legendaries in March. No prize cards in March. Let's move on to April. Alright guys, so in April, this was where we finally saw our Aston Martin x5 finals, but unfortunately, it was for the Dodge Demon rerun, which I already owned. That being said though, I did still win a prize car, and I am going to count it, and it's not in this filter because it technically isn't a prize car, but I'm counting it as a prize car, and that is indeed the Ariel Atom. Why I'm counting the Ariel Atom as a prize car? It's because I won it. You know, I won the car. I didn't you know, unpack the car or anything. I won the car from the owner's challenge. It was 194 days ago, so that was back in April. 64 races, 7% win ratio, and it's dead stock. Haven't put a single fuse into it because it's not worth it. That being said, I'm happy to get a free legendary. Obviously, that challenge was super easy for me considering that my Aston Martin hand was already super strong at the time. It was a bit unfortunate because I was building all those Aston Martins because I really wanted. I knew an Aston Martin prize Tri-Series was coming, and I really wanted to go for whatever prize card they were going to release. But they were releasing Dodge Demon. I already had it, so I couldn't go for it. It's kind of like when you put that mentality into PL12. It's like, oh, I really love Peugeot, so I'm gonna max out Peugeots until they release a Tri-Series. So if you've been doing that, it's all gonna pay off in like a week for you when you get that Bentley Continental GT3. That being said though, I did win this car, so I'm gonna count it as a prize car. I won it in April, the Aerial Atom 3.5. So that being said, let's move on to May. So guys, May was pretty good. I really enjoyed May. I did not get a lot of legendaries in May, but the legendaries I got were all above. Actually, no. I was going to say all above RQ90, but that isn't right. All above RQ88, if I remember correctly. We start off with our first prize car of May. It was the Lamborghini Urus. It was a German 2010 to 2014 final. Once again, the hand that I used. Oh, and the hand that I used for the Aerial Atom, 10 out of 10 for sure. The Aerial Atom, for the Aerial Atom. And for the Lamborghini Urus, the hand that I used for this was definitely a 10 out of 10. It was, I think, two legendaries, one that's almost actually both of them are almost at 2 stars, one being the 911 Turbo, the other being the 911 GT2, which also won me the 918, so you know, it's nice to use them again, but I did have to put more fuses into them. And then I used one ultra rare because the RQ limit for the Lamborghini Urus was under 400 if I remember correctly, so everybody had to use an ultra rare, and I used 2 epics as well. It was a really good hand. I was really proud of what I used, and I'm really happy that I got the Lamborghini Urus. It's an amazing car. I use it all the time in clubs and multiplayer events. In fact, if we check it out, I've had it for 178 days, 91% win ratio, and 1,111 total races. Would you look at that? That's not going to stay very soon because I use this thing all the time, so it's just going to go up, up, up. That being said though, May was a double prize car win because after the Lamborghini Urus, we won my favorite Aston Martin prize car in the game, and one of my favorite Aston Martins of all time, coming in third behind the DB5 and of course the DBS Superleggera, and that is the Aston Martin 177 RQ88. This was silver screen, the first of the legendary challenges that we got. Super happy with this. My hand to win this, you guys remember, it was 5 green Hellcats, baby, and I'm gonna rate that a 707 out of 10. Really happy with this win. This car has amazing MRA, amazing top speed, decent handling. The only thing that really drags it down is that 0 to 60. It's pretty unfortunate. It's pretty slow, but you know, even for a 2000s car, because when I have 2000 requirements in daily events and stuff like that, I don't even use the 177. I use the Gumperts, and I think I use like the Roof CTR3 or something like that, or a Roof. But that being said, I'm still super happy with this car. I think this is one of the most beautiful Aston Martins ever released. The back of the Aston Martin 177 is still revolutionary to me, and it really reminds me of the Dodge Chargers that came afterwards. I think it was the 2012 model, the ones with the LED back. So anyway, I really love this Aston Martin 177, and this wraps up May. Now let's move on to June. Guys, in June, we saw one new prize car addition to my garage, and that is indeed the Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. This was a Cadillac x5 final, and I gotta say, 10 out of 10. I used 3 legendaries and 1 epic and 1 ultra rare to win me this bad boy. It was super easy as well, if I remember correctly. This was one of the finals where I didn't need to open any of the packs. I didn't need to, you know, spend any cash at all, actually, because I already had an amazing Cadillac hand going into this final. Love this car very much. Corvette lover, I know you have it, Max, and I know you have that 100% win ratio on this car. I, however, do not have those heights, only 82% win ratio, had it for 136 days, and I've had it gone through 480 races. It's an amazing car, great addition to my USA garage, American Dream garage as well. But with that said, let's move on to July. So in July, much like May, 2 new prize cars added to the collection. The first one being the McLaren F1 GTR Shorttail. This was indeed the Call of the Wild, if I remember correctly, the Call of the Wild special tag. Super easy, once again, did not need to spend a single dime to win this. However, I did open the Elite Pack because I really wanted to try and get more Vipers. Unfortunately, I didn't. I did get a Legendary, but it ended up being a Murcielago, which I really don't care about and is still dead stock in my garage. That being said though, the McLaren F1 GTR Shorttail, amazing car. Now this car came out of left field. When I found out that this was going to be the legendary prize car for the legendary prize car challenge, I was surprised. I was going through a metamorphosis at the time. I thought that these challenges were an excuse for Hutch to give out some of the less sought out prize cars, you know what I mean, like RQ90 and below. But from the past and from now on, we can see with a trend that there are giving out some really good cars. This, the Huayra, the Vulcan, all 90 plus, all 93 plus. But this is an amazing car, amazing MRA. The 0 to 60 for a car that it is, slick tires, all that is kind of low. I mean, it's kind of high, but it's definitely not too bad. MRA is amazing, top speed is high, handling is amazing, and it's a beautiful looking car. So this was the first car that I won in July. The second one, however, was indeed the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 Grand Sport. I cannot remember the requirements that got me this. I think it was Italian 2000s maybe, or Italian rear-wheel drive 2000s. I'm not sure, man. I can't remember what I used because the hand that I used to win this was a bit surprising. I think I ended up using, I don't even remember what I used. I just remember that I speed maxed from 0 stars to 3 stars my Pagani Zonda C12 Epic in about 2 minutes. And that was because I speed maxed it because I thought I had no chance of winning this car. But then I got like a really easy bracket, and then I was like, you know what, I actually kind of have a chance of winning this car. So I sped maxed my Epic, and I used like the Alshire Maserati Quattroporte standard tire car because it was like 100% needed at the time. But I'm going to be completely honest with you, I can't remember the hand that I used to win this thing. I'm honestly surprised that I had this thing. I did not expect to win this thing at all. That being said though, I guess I'll just rate it like 4 out of 10. I just don't remember. At least I remember what I used to win the Huracan, but I have no idea what I used to use the Bugatti Veyron. But I remember the day that I got this, so it was a really happy day because a lot of boars got it, a lot of patrons got it, a lot of friends got it, and it was just a celebration stream, seeing everybody, I think it was like 6-7 people winning the Bugatti Veyron 16.4 Grand Sport at the same time. I don't know, maybe there was a similar situation with this in the Huracan where the brackets were, I guess, more bountiful and easier. I don't know, but there was a trend. A lot of people won this car, myself included. But that wraps up July. We are now going to move to August. Now, August was the introduction of PL12, not the greatest of updates, but it did introduce one of the greatest prize cars, and that is indeed the McLaren Senna. I won this at the end of August, and it's an amazing machine, 2.5 100, and this is at 111 or 333, and I absolutely love this car. Winning this prize car, I used 1 ultra rare and 4 epics, 3 of them being maxed out and 1 being at 2 stars. And might I say, those are key epics as well. I absolutely loved it. Love the McLaren Senna. So happy to have it in my garage. I would give that hand that I used to win this a 7 out of 10. I know a lot of people were using Koenigsegg's. I didn't have a single Koenigsegg at the time. That being said though, my hand was still really good because I had basically 4 maxed out epics, really good epics as well. One of them being those 4-wheel drive slick Peugeots, which are going to be useful for these finals, but I only have 1 of them, and I need 4 more to really, go for the Bentley. And I'm not going to open any Peugeot packs because I hate Peugeot. You guys know that already though. But McLaren Senna representing August, it's the only one, and what an only one it is. Anyway, moving on now to the golden month of 2020, and that is indeed September, baby. So, September. Alright, now we've seen months where I've won 1 prize car. We've seen months where I've won 2. September, I won 3 legendary prize cars. It was an amazing month. Starting us off was the Pagani Huayra BC. It was a walk in the park once again, around the world, super easy, didn't spend a single dime, and I used to win this bad boy 10 out of 10. Love the car. I used the Monte Carlo, I used the Bentayga. I guess you can say the Bentayga has technically won me 2 prize cars now, this and the Chiron, even though the Bentayga sucks. Pretty interesting actually. It's an amazing car. I love this machine, and it did go on to win me another prize car in the Vulcan, which we'll talk talk about later. The second prize car, however, is really close to my heart. Won this in September as well, which is my best legendary month with 7, beating out February with 6. The Dodge Viper GTSR, baby. Oh my god. Once again, shout out to Patara. I love you, bro. If it wasn't for you, I wasn't gonna be able to win this Viper GTSR, because if you guys remembered, I did spend 1.3 million in hopes to try and get a decent epic Volvo or any Swedish car, which, you know, is a Volvo, and I had no chance. And after that, I was like, you know what, it's GG, it's over, it's hot. But then Pops, you know, he was like, yo, hold up, let me sponsor you, you go open these packs and hopefully we'll get good luck. And good luck we did get, because from those Swedish packs we got 2 Koenigsegg's and a couple epics, and that was exactly what I used to win me the Dodge Viper GTSR. It was the most insane hand that I've ever used. It was 1 ultra rare max, 3 epics, all max, and the legendary maxed. It was insane. I won this thing first place, a sounding lead, landslide victory, as they say in election time right now. You know, the whole election going on. It's kind of hectic. But yeah, the Dodge Viper GTSR. I just love this thing so much, and I can't believe it's in my garage. I just wish I had a better picture, because look at that. It's just a tire. It's a tire and a door. That's exactly what it is. A tire, a door, and a spoiler, a big wing. But that being said, though, so happy to get it. I'm definitely gonna max it out eventually. I promise. I have a lot of prize cards I want to max out now. I want to max out the GTSR, the Senna, and the Vulcan. So I kind of have to figure out which one comes first, man. I don't know. It's a really hard decision, but I really love this card. 10 out of 10 for the hand that I use. 10 out of 10 for Pops for helping me out. But yeah, love the GTSR, man. Love it to death. Anyway, that's not done though. We got one more prize card that we got in in September. September really is the month of bags secured. It is indeed Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Got 10th in the final, had a decent hand. It was basically just all epics, no legendary, no ultra, nothing higher, nothing lower. Not all of them were maxed either, and I ended up 10th. And yeah, it was an amazing win. Love this car. I love the SVJ. It's a great collection to my Lamborghini collection, because now I have the Aventador SV, and the Aventador SVJ. So all I need now is the Aventador S, and I have the entire Aventador family. And let's be honest, I'm going to get the entire Aventador family before I get a wide body. It's 100%. It's 100%. The hand I used for this, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It was decent. The finals was, I think, it was a German Renaissance Saloon. That's what it was. German Renaissance Saloon. Anyway, moving on to October now. Let's get into that. So October, obviously, I won 1 prize car. Could have been 2, but as you guys remember, I got 11th place in the Roof RTR finals. Huge blow. Last night took an L, but tonight I bounced back. I've already bounced back with that pack opening. It ended up being great. That being said, though, I still didn't win a prize car in October, and that is indeed the Aston Martin Vulcan. I won this car, well, let's see, 5 days ago. As you can see, I put a little upgrade into it, so it's 208, 26, 102, and my god, those stats are to die for. The hand I used for this, in the end, I would give it an 8 out of 10, or maybe even a 9 out of 10, because I did use 3 legendaries. Pagani Huayra, 2 Gumperts, I used 1 epic and 1 super rare. So super rare, epic, 3 legendaries. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for sure. Aston Martin Vulcan, I was so close to actually not winning. Actually, the chances of me not winning this was 0. It was just like how much I had to sacrifice, right? It was, I had, yeah, as you guys know, you watched that video, it was 1 of 2 roads. It was either, you know, I go max out my Pagani Huayra to make up the point difference, or go open some packs, hopefully I'll get lucky, get a legendary or an epic, and that's exactly what happened. Peer pressure, open 1 carbon, and I got a Gumpert, won me the Aston Martin Vulcan. It was a great day. That being said though, let's move on to November. Now guys, I know what you're thinking. It's the 4th of November. We've only had 4 days in this new month. No new prize car has given out. You're wrong. I have actually already won a prize car in November, and that is a non-prize car, but I won it as a prize. Kind of like the Aerial Atom. This was from the Halloween Spooktacular event. I got, I think, 2nd place, and it was the Lamborghini Murcielago. Obviously, I haven't shown you the pack opening for that yet. I will in a future video, but yeah, I mean, it's no big surprise. I won the Lamborghini Murcielago. It's not the best legendary, but it is still a legendary, and I still consider it to be a prize card because I won it. 205 top speed, 3.60 to 60, 86 handling with that style icon tag, which makes my style icon tag pretty insane, because if we go into miscellaneous and we go into style icon, where is style icon? No, it's collections and tags. Apologies. There we go. I have literally all the legendary style icons already. The only one I'm missing out on is indeed the Citroen GT, which is a prize card, so nobody's gotten it yet, but it's a pretty good style icon tag. Can you imagine if I had a Diablo from the Ride of the Valkyries? That being said, though, I'm not a fan. I don't want it. But yeah, Aventador and the Murcielago, that's looking pretty good. But of course, the Murcielago is my first prize car of November. Here's to more. Hopefully we get more, and I hope I get some in December as well. But just to recap, I have actually gotten a prize card every month except for March and January. Every other month I've gotten a prize card, which is pretty nice one way or the other, whether it be an owner's challenge, a legendary challenge, or a tri-series tier 1. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. That is the 2020 thus far, or I guess you can say recap, because we're literally only like less than 2 months until the next year. So that is the collection. So I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know what prize cards you've won this year, and shout out to the Miura SVJ. It's an epic, but I did win it. There were a couple of other epics that I won, like the GC40, as well as like that 250F, but we're not going to count those. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Remember to stay safe, wash your hands, blossom out.